Hi, Daniel Hayes here, Hayes Winkle Agent. Today I'm going to talk about the VPA or vendor paid advertising. Last year I would have had the highest spend in Geelong. This year I would say that I would as a single agency. The reason is because I believe in it. I don't believe you can possibly get the highest price for a property unless you've exposed it. I've never found VPA hard to sell. It's a non-negotiable in my business. And years ago I might have done people deals where we included everything and just the commission, but we don't today. It's vendor paid advertising. It's a non-negotiable, and I'll tell you why. It's really important. It's really important to expose property. It's the nature of the game. I think it's, to say, and we come up against this with their competition. But Danny, the competition say they've got a database of buyers and they want to bring them through. I think that's great, but I think it's bullshit. I think it's a ploy. And I'll interpret that. What they're really saying is this: I can save you $3,000 if you go with me because we're not going to need to have to market the property. Now, I'll interpret that from a good real estate agent. What I'm hearing is this: I'm going to cost you $10,000 to $20,000 because I'm not going to get you the highest possible sale price because not everyone in the market is going to get to see the property. And that's the difference between an average agent and a really, really good agent, I believe, in my view. So really important to expose the property. We use things like highlight properties. We go for full-page ads, half-page ads, and we really go for it. And, the vendor pays for that. We don't. I think those days in real estate are gone. My data, and I collect data, I don't make decisions unless I have the data. 50% of buyers at the moment that we interview or that come through open homes use the 50% are on the internet. So, really important. I've seen companies nearly bankrupt themselves or certainly diminish in market share because they've stopped using the advertiser or the paper. They've thought, well, we don't need to go to paper. So as a business, we do. And, people that say they can't sell VPA are shit agents. That's the bottom line. Real estate isn't about selling homes. It's really not. It's about a whole lot of other things, and the end result is that the sale happens. And and I'll finish on this sort of silly analogy about VPA and about because that's a big statement to make. Real estate's not really about selling homes. It's a bit like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They have the Gobstopper, the Gobstopper machine that if you've seen that movie, it makes that Gobstopper. And, it goes through these sequence of events and there's all these mechanical things happening and these processes happening and it's you're going here, there and everywhere. And then eventually at the end it spits out. It just spits out a Gobstopper and it's perfect. And then it happens again, and then about every 2 minutes it spits out a Gobstopper. And, the spitting out of the Gobstopper is just the sale. The rest, the process, which includes VPA and, from the choreograph of the presentation to how your business is perceived, to how you're perceived in the marketplace, that is this big machine that should be happening all the time, and then it just spits out sales. And I've got guys that consistently spit out 3 to 4 sales a month, and I've got people that consistently spit out 10 to 15 sales. Laura Berry this month already at 13 sales. We're still 5 or 6 days to go. So a bit of a silly analogy, but it's so true. And VPA is important. I don't know how you can truly believe you've got the highest possible price. If you don't expose property correctly. I believe it to my core. I don't need to sell it at all because I just believe it. It just is. That's the video blog for today.